From Mow Cop, on the edge of the Peak District in the United Kingdom. Welcome to the GCN show.
Welcome to the GCN show.
Coming up this week, we are asking what price cyclists have to pay for progress, because shock horror, a new wheel size is being mooted. Pun very much intended there. Could it ever be worth the pain?
Yeah, we've also got the latest from the world of racing, an update from our gravel noob, Chloe, as she trains for her upcoming epic gravel race. And you can win a Yoeleo gravel frame like the ones Mark Beaumont and I rode to the most remote pub.
Yeah, plus we have got some very big news from here at GCN.
Oh yeah.
This week in the world of cycling, we learned that the opening weekend of the Vuelta a España has had more in common with that scene from Bambi than an actual bike race.
Yeah, not the one where his mum dies, the ice skating bit.
Yeah, spoiler alert. Anyway, torrential rain turned the roads of Barcelona into a skating rink with riders sliding off left, right and centre. Thankfully though, injuries were few and far between, and luckily all the big favourites have made it through.
Yeah, speaking of lucky escapes though, we also learned that we should be giving a big pat on the back to Richard, the truck driver.
Richard!
Yeah, he sacrificed his £2 million cargo of supercars to save a group of cyclists.
I know, this is mad, isn't it? Let it be said, I don't ever read the Daily Mail, but this ended up on my Twitter feed somehow, and I'm glad it did, right? Because apparently, Richard the truck driver was transporting a load of uber expensive cars from one racetrack to another and lost control of his truck. As he was doing so, he saw a group of cyclists oncoming and thankfully had the peace of mind to jackknife on purpose instead, so therefore flipping his lorry, sending the supercars flying, but saving the bike riders.
Yeah. I've just got to say, well done, Richard.
Well done, Richard. Yeah, absolutely. Now, lastly, we also learned this week that there is every reason to start getting excited about the World Gravel Championships. Firstly, the rumours are that we will have a new venue and course, so that unlike last year, it might actually be on gravel.
Exciting times. And secondly, Wout van Aert and Matthew van der Poel are looking likely to line up for the men's event. Plus, Marianne Vos just won a round of the Gravel World Series, so there could be some Galactico superstars there again this year, which is super exciting.
Yeah, I actually can't wait for that. Now, there has been a story doing the rounds on cycling websites over the last week, and it involves our friends at Moots.
Yeah, it's a rather polarising story, shall we say, because they, along with WTB, are trialling a new wheel size.
Yes. Now, the conventional size that we all use is the quite arbitrarily named 700C, which measures 622 millimetres in diameter, but they are testing 750D, equally arbitrarily named, because it measures 660 millimetres in diameter.
Yeah, now us roadies and gravellers can count ourselves very lucky. We've never really had to endure the pain of wheel size trends before, but this is something that mountain bikers have had to go through and are really only just recovering from, aren't they?
They are indeed, yeah. A new wheel size is like the world going from rim brakes to disc brakes, but worse. Everything before it gradually becomes obsolete.
Yeah.
The previous standard still works fine, but something that majority of people regard as an improvement means that what you know and love, and potentially own a lot of, becomes outdated.
Yeah, the mere mention of rim brakes being phased out of disc brakes is just enough to get a bunch of you very angry indeed.
Yeah.
And you, sorry.
No, not me, but if you listen carefully, you can actually hear the screams and the wails and like the little explosions coming from all across the internet. I will admit too, though, right? Despite my deep respect and fondness for Moots, and WTB for that matter, when I first read about this, I did have my head in my hands. Okay?
Yeah.
Why the flip do we need bigger wheels on gravel bikes? Then, I'll admit, I read a slightly more in-depth and more considered article on the Escape Collective, and I do feel slightly less despairing.
Go on, tell me why.
Well, so firstly, it sounds like Moots and WTB are just testing this out to see what happens, okay? So it's not made it into pre-production, let alone the jazzy marketing stage where it will get a fancy name and everything else.
Yeah.
And so I was thinking, you know what, it's absolutely fine, but it's absolutely good, in fact, for brands to experiment with new tech. You know, that's what should be happening. However, if it happens...
Yeah, well, I guess we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Yeah.
But it's got us thinking, though, what price do we pay for progress? And how good does something new have to be if it makes what's gone before it worthless?
Well, yeah, this is a tricky one, isn't it? Really tricky, because it largely depends, I think, on two factors, right? Whether you like the new development and, crucially, whether you have the funds to pay for it.
Yeah.
Because, for example, disc brakes, they're not totally perfect, but in my opinion, they are better than rim brakes, and our bikes and wheels are now better as a result of them too.
Yes.
However, I'm well aware that I'm in the very fortunate position that I haven't actually had to spend that much of my hard-earned money upgrading bikes to them.
No, but if you haven't got the money to upgrade, then technically it doesn't matter because you're going to be riding your rim brakes anyway, right?
That is a really good point, actually. Yeah. So I guess it's more of an emotional thing, isn't it? Like feeling like you're being left out of the party. Now, because you can't afford to do it. Do you know what I mean? Like, the world's moved on and you're stuck there. So I get that pain. So potentially then, mainly, it's about whether you like the development or not, isn't it? Now, for example, if you prize lightweight and simplicity above all else, then I can see why it has been so painful that the world has moved from rim brakes to disc brakes.
Yeah, when it comes to what catches on, majority rules those sides. So while it might be painful for a few people, most people are happier with their disc brakes. And remember, the world is littered with failed inventions, even from some of the biggest brands with technically the biggest marketing spends.
That is true, actually, isn't it? Does anyone remember Shimano Rapid Rise derailleurs?
Yeah.
Do you remember Shimano Rapid Rise? I was going to say, yeah.
Way before my time.
Way before your time. I would agree, though, with that. Again, like, only the good stuff catches on, no matter how much marketing resource is poured into something. Contrary to popular opinion, pro cyclists don't all use whatever they get paid to use because teams and sponsors ultimately value winning even more than sponsor dollars, and sponsor dollars will dry up if they don't get results.
Well, totally true. And when you went for a ride with a grumpy retro grouch, he said people are just like sheep, aren't they? We'll do what everyone else does. We kind of follow along. And I don't agree with that.
No, I don't agree with that either. While the story of the Emperor's New Clothes has some truth in it, it doesn't hold true at a bigger level, does it? Not everyone is like that. So what price do we pay for progress? Ultimately, not much, I would say. If you don't like something, don't buy it. And if you do find that you're left out because everyone's gone for something else, just stick to your guns. Because like, you kind of look cool in the long run doing your own thing, don't you?
And it all comes back around, doesn't it?
It does,
Retro, vintage, it's all it's like the circle of life.
Absolutely. So yeah, it's absolutely fine for Moose and WTB to be trialling these wheels. I will try them if I get the opportunity.
100%.
At the minute, I'm sceptical, but I wait to be convinced. So there we go. Right, now we promised you some big news from here at GCN. There has been a significant, and we will confidently say, improvement to our own website.
Yep, it launched today, if you're watching this on Tuesday, and it brings together everything you love about GCN in one place.
That's right. Lloydie is actually currently busy perusing all the latest news in the special La Vuelta section, so he actually sounds like he knows what he's talking about on commentary. So he's going to be there a long time actually reading that. Yeah, he does, yeah.
Do you know what caught my eye, Si?
No, what?
The lifestyle section.
Really? Why is that?
Do you know what? Well, it's partly because I'm in it.
Okay, right.
A lot. But also because Ollie seems to be front and centre with this Tour de Stations epic. So I'm using it as a bit of motivation to do something bigger, better, more exuberant, and something that the audience are going to like even more.
Exuberant you can do, bigger than Ollie's Tour de Station epic. I think you've got your work cut out.
It's going to be tough to break.
Back to the website though, we have brought in an entirely new editorial team to run this one, okay? Being led by Dan Benson, who is a name that will be familiar with you, many of you, I guess. Anyway, the whole team there have their fingers on the pulse and will be bringing you new and exclusive stories from the world of cycling, from racing to tech, training, and everything in between.
Yeah, important to point that This is not just a racing website. It's everything cycling, all in one place.
Exactly. And as always, we would love to get your feedback on it, okay? So we have made it for you, for us, I guess. So yeah, tell us what you think. Can we improve it? We want to hear all of your thoughts. We already have some exciting plans on the horizon, don't we? But yeah, it would just be great, as always, if you could help us to make improvements, because we want this to be the best cycling website out there. So you got to let us know what you think. Get involved in the comment section down below.
Yeah, next we're going to head over to our gravel noob, Chloe, and her tech nerd of her husband, Alex, to find out how their prep for the Big Sugar gravel race is going on. Right, you ready?
Right, we're infiltrating the GCN show. It's Alex, there's Chloe. Now, if you haven't seen the video that is out where Chloe and I take on her gravel fears, this is Chloe, my wife. And we are in preparation and training to go and do the Big Sugar 100-mile gravel race. Now, we're using the help of AI coaching platform Humango to get us in shape and prepped and ready for the event. So, Chloe, how are you finding it all so far?
Yeah, it's going well. You know, it's been interesting, been different using a coaching platform, but AI coaching platform. But it's good, following the sort of structured workouts as best as I can. And yeah, feeling like the prep is well underway.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Now, if you guys want to see not only how our preparation for the event is going, but also the race itself, well, we're going to have videos on GCN specifically for that. So subscribe to make sure you don't miss out. And also, we might have another show mentioned in the future as well, won't we? So people can keep abreast of how things are going on. Right, back to the GCN show, back to our coffees. See you in a bit.
And now it's time for cycling shorts.
Cycling shorts now, and we're going to start with a little bit of racing news. Fresh off his time trial bronze medal at the World Championships, which also makes him the youngest ever top 10 finisher in that event, Josh Tarling has equalled Remco Evenepoel's record for being the youngest ever winner of a World Tour race when he won the time trial stage at the Newbie Tour last week.
Yeah, equal to the very day, 19 years, 6 months and 9 days, our stat guru, Killian Kelly, was last seen badgering Tarling's dad on Twitter to find out what time of day Josh was born to be able to declare a winner.
That's right, yeah. As far as I could tell, Josh Tarling's dad has not told Killian.
The time.
No.
Get a star sign as well, couldn't he?
Well, I mean, he's got a star sign already because he knows his birthday. But yeah, what he needs is that time of day. Anyway, there we go. Meanwhile, at the Vuelta, Remco has taken control already, winning stage 3, but then promptly piling straight into a load of officials and press officers on the finish line. He emerged from the fray looking like Sly Stallone from Rocky, didn't he?
Yeah. God, I mean, the face, though, dripping with blood. Meanwhile, Geraint Thomas has lost a bit of time, but is still in the mix. An interview a couple of days before the start of the Vuelta, he restated his ambition to push for overall victory, saying, I might as well commit to this and see what I can do. Then I've got the rest of my life to chill and drink cocktails, which we know he's quite good at because I've done it a few times with him.
He is very good at drinking cocktails. Yeah. I like that attitude. Like, you might as well go for GC. He was one of the guys that slipped off, actually. Seems unaffected by the crash, but maybe that's why he lost a bit of time. Anyway, he'll ride himself in. We should have a tasty fight for GC, shouldn't we?
Oh, God, yeah.
And remember, of course, you can watch it on GCN Plus live and on demand, if we needed to tell you. Right, some pro cycling tech news now. Our mates at Orbea are going back to the big leagues on the men's side of the sport. They've been in the women's with Sarah Tizet for a while now. According to the website HLN, they are due to be providing bikes now to the Lotto Destiny team.
They've a prestigious track record in racing, particularly the famous orange Euskaltel team, but have been absent from the big men's races since the end of 2019.
That's right. Now, over in the US, we've actually got to send our best wishes to ultra racer Jay Pitavari, who was hit by a car during his Great Divide fastest known time attempt. So according to Gear Junkie, he has got a few broken bones, but will make a full recovery.
Having ridden most of the way across Canada, he had just 1,000 miles to go, which must make it all the more painful. we wish you the very best to get well soon, Jay.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, sticking with ultra riding, Lachlan Morton is going to be taking on the Tour Divide, which is north to south down through the Rockies in the US.
He's a nutter.
Yeah, it is a savage route, 2,745 miles, most of them off-road, with 80,000 metres of climbing. The current record holder is the late Mike Hall, the founder of Transcontinental, who posted an incredible time of 13 days, 22 hours and 51 minutes.
I think that's actually my one that can stump Ollie.
That would stump Ollie.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
There
it
you
would,
go.
yeah.
So let me know in the comment section
I
below
can
if
see
you
you,
think I should go for it.
I can see you wrestling bears on the Great Divide.
Mate, I've been training for it. Anyway, his approach will be on a sustainable program, only riding for 18 hours a day. Not sure how sustainable that is, though, for us mere mortals.
Yeah, I think we should say only riding for 18 hours a day. Right. It is competition time now. Hopefully, you've seen by now the video of Hank's attempt to reach the most remote pub in time for last orders.
It was bloody tough, I've got to say. So make sure you go and watch it. And we didn't actually make it to the last orders, but make sure you go check out the video.
What?
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
That's 2 now.
But that
We
just-
ruined Bambi and...
But that just shows how blooming tough it was.
Well, either that or you just
So
got
you
as
got
good
to
as
watch.
Ollie Bridgewood.
Well, true.
Was Mark Beaumont having to tow you around?
Not this time. Not this time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I've touched the sore point there.
No, you trust me, you have. Anyway, Mark Beaumont and I were lucky enough to ride the Yoeleo G21 gravel bikes.
Yeah, it's a brand that's relatively new to us, isn't it? Based in China, they've been building carbon bikes for other brands for 16 years,
Yeah.
but are now making for their own label, Yoeleo too. And they've been kind enough to give away 3 frame sets to you, lucky lot. So if you want to be in with a chance of winning it, then click on the link in the description below.
Yeah, you can thank me later.
Yeah. Hey, you know, we were talking about the Vuelta a minute ago, watching on GCN Plus. Check out our t-shirts. Oh yeah, we've actually collaborated with La Vuelta for this exclusive range. I'm loving
You're
this.
not going to take that off.
No, I'm not.
No.
You'll be able to smell me on the GCN show.
About my...
Oh, you got sweaty pits?
What? Not yet. But you don't tell the viewers. Anyway, yes, you can get hold of some of these if you head to the GCN shop and don't miss out.
Yeah, and the GCN shop is the only place where you can get hold of them. Exclusive.
It's now time for hack/Bodge of the week.
It is indeed. That was beautiful, man.
Ah, you're welcome.
Yeah. It's like
Do you want to
sitting-
kick off?
It's like sitting next to Tom Jones, something like that.
Not quite so good.
Sex bomb, sex bomb. Right, first up, Cadence Cat is back on Hack or Bodge. So Dan and I requested after her basically life-size doll of Connor Dunn she created, that now Lloydie is indoor training in Canada and is rather fetching Tour de Femme jersey, custom made as well. And I like the ha evil laugh on there as well. Oh my goodness me, look at that. There he is.
He looks pretty good.
He does, look at that hair.
Yeah.
Dan's hair is always
It's
immaculate.
always immaculate.
Nice jersey that, by the way. You really custom made that. That's impressive. Well done, Cadence Cat. That's a hack from me. What about you?
Yes, definite hack from me too.
And 60.
It's always a hack when I see Dan training because it just doesn't happen that often.
I was going to say, yeah. There's some complicated virtual reality software to make Dan look like he's training.
Yeah.
66% of you lot thought that was a hack as well. So well done, Cadence Cat, getting us off the ground running today.
Next one, we got MT Morms frame pump campy head carbon bike.
Whoa.
So here
What's
we
that
go.
like? A custom frame pump holder to fit on a Bianchi Specialissima. But I think given that frame pumps were up for conversation in a GCN show whilst I was on holiday.
I do love a frame pump.
You see, I don't. Like, I think
know.
that's really nice.
I just think it
really
looks
neat.
traditional, and I think that's why I like it because it just looks that traditional.
What's the point? Like, how often are you going to puncture that you need a pump that big?
And pumps have got pretty good. You know, the mini pumps nowadays
It's
have
like
similar power to
you could have a
one
pump
of
that big that you need to
Yeah.
use once a year,
Or
and you
like-
spend an extra minute, or you carry that around.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I like the execution of this.
Yeah, and 58.
58%
People
of
liked
people
it.
said that was a hack. Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, if you're going to have one, make sure you do it right, I guess. So I suppose I've got to give that a hack, even if I don't like your pump.
Yeah, it's a hack from me, mate.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Right, next up we got Nokia, a pull-up work stand, improvised from a pull-up bar to replace the brake pads and adjust my calipers. There we go. That's quite neat, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bodge from me.
Why's that?
Just because I think it is just a bit of a bodge job.
Huh?
Just chucking your bike up there.
Yeah, but you don't need to do anything else, do you?
No, but I quite like the work stand. You wouldn't.
And when have you ever used a work stand?
No, I quite like the look of one.
I mean, I've got people to do my brake pads
Yeah.
for me, but you know, when they do it for me, I want them to do it right.
But as in,
No, it's cool, man. You say it's a bodge.
yeah, I mean, you just use it as a when. Like, it's not really. Would you call it a hack or a bodge?
I mean, like sometimes you got to have your bike off the ground when you're working
Yeah.
on it, and like.
But spin it upside down if you want to.
Well, that is true. Yeah, to be fair, I would replace my brake pads upside down.
Yeah.
But anyway, that would anger lots of people as well, wouldn't it? So we won't do that. No, but I'm
Road bikes upside down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we could. Well,
But 61
we'll leave it at
people are saying hack.
61%. Yeah, they are. There you go. I think that's cool. I think
61%,
that's legit.
No, yeah, I hear what you're saying, but I'm going to say bodge.
Okay.
I've got to stick to my guns because I went out the blocks really early and I've
Yeah,
got to
you did.
stick. Got to stick.
Fair play, mate. I admire that. Like we said in the main story, like, you know, just stick to your guns.
You've got to.
It'll be cool in the end.
Yeah,
You've got to be true to yourself. Keep it
One day.
real.
I am sorry though, Nokia, for going hard at you. Apologies.
Right, okay. Then finally, rounding things out, we've got Tokyo Curie, bike stand or question mark. An accident waiting to happen. Spotted this in Tokyo. I'd say as soon as it slips into the spokes, it's a bodge. What on earth is going on
Yeah, I can see
there?
what's going on there.
On a Pirello?
It's not for me.
Good grief. That's bizarre, isn't it? Like, why do you need a bike stand that much? That's crazy.
I mean, you would just think about a kickstand, wouldn't you? Like drilling a kickstand onto it.
drilling a kickstand onto your Pinarello.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, it's better than having that a big square of steel attached to your bike.
I've never seen one of those before, I'll be honest. But anyway, they got a portable work stand, so that's worth a hack, isn't it?
Bodge from me. It's a bodge from me.
It's a bodge from me as well. I'm sure there must be something we're missing. So
Yeah.
potentially, if you've seen it, then get involved in the
And
comment section.
74% of you also said it was bodge.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Yeah.
Right, well, there we go. That is Hack or Bodge for this week. Some good ones, as always. Thank you, Caden's cat, particularly, for responding and getting loyalty. Are you feeling a bit left out? Would you like Caden's cat to make a Hank doll?
Yeah, can we get a Hank doll made?
Imagine the size of the muscles
Yeah,
that it's
it'd be
going to
huge.
have.
It'd look like the Michelin Man.
It
I'm
would.
going to imagine it now. I might even do my own. Anyway, we digress.
Don't make
Yes.
your own. I think there's a rule against making your own life-size
That would be a
doll.
bit weird.
Yeah, it would be super weird. Okay, anyway, yeah, if you want to submit anything to Hack or Bodge, then you can do so through the GCN app. And of course, on the GCN app, there's loads of other hacks or bodges for you to get voting on as well.
Yeah.
It is time now for Caption Competition, that part of the show where you get a chance to get your hands on a coveted GCN
Very
Elite
coveted.
water bottle.
Yeah.
I mean, you can buy them in the shop, the GCN shop, can't you? But,
Yeah, but it's all better when you win it.
that's absolutely right. Yeah, all you've got
It's
to do
much sweeter.
it is to win one is to put a witty caption in the comment section down below that relates to a photo that we will give you in just a second, but we will give you the results as always first from last week.
Yeah, our last picture featured Viviani and Pedersen cheersing with their big, massive glasses or pints. They're not pints, are they? What would you say they are?
What would it be? Like a 2 litre maybe?
2 litre trough of beer.
Yeah, there we go. Anyway, some cracking entries as always. But the winner is Michael McMahon. I've blatantly butchered your surname. I'm really sorry, Michael. Michael M. 1376, who said this. Pedersen and Viviani both have a big head after their podium finish. There you go.
That was one that particularly stood out for me, so well done, Michael.
There you go. Yeah, that's very cool. Yeah, get in touch, Michael, and we will send you out a GCN Elite water bottle.
We will indeed.
There we go. Right, this week we've got this photo of Lukas Wisniewski of Poland.
A picture you don't really see that often when watching bike racing.
No, not really.
Lying on the floor, except after you've crashed.
Shall I get started?
I think you're going to be the one that does the best one for GCN. So
Well, no one's ever said that before.
Dan's not here,
thanks.
so you got to do it.
Basically, yeah. All right. Lucas suddenly realised that the new Rafa Aero jersey was completely see-through.
It's good.
See what I mean? 'Cause he's covering his nipples.
Yeah. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
But I think you guys can do better. So make sure you get in the comment section below and put your caption in. Make sure they're wittier than size. Easy done. Easy done. Comment of the week now, the time of the show where we get to see some of your comments and pick out the best ones under the last week of videos. Starting off with one from last week's show from Philip Cooper 82297. Bring back drinking raids to the Tour de France. You know, the dime domestics would just raid local shops and cafes for food and drinks during the race. That sure seemed like a fun era of road cycling. I wish we did actually. When Mark and I did the 1903 ride, I wish we actually just got some shops on board and tried to reenact it.
I tell you what, mate, that would have made your ride even harder.
Well,
but if you like the idea of drinking raids, check out ultra racing, like Transcontinental.
Yeah,
Because that's exactly what they got to do,
yeah.
isn't it? Except instead of bars now, it's
more
mainly like
gas
petrol
stations.
stations.
Yeah.
So it's more like a pasty run.
Yeah.
Pasty and a Coke.
What's your go-to when you run out, like pasty and a Coke? When you run into a supermarket, you've done 300k or whatever it is.
Well, like being a celiac and eating gluten-free, it
Yeah.
makes life quite tricky on ultra races. But my absolute fail-safe is packet salt and vinegar crisps. You know how in ultra races where your stomach feels a bit
Yeah.
because
I go for a pork pie because it's just easy to, and they feel dense.
Well, they are dense, aren't they? Good lord, pork pie. Oh my god.
Weird.
Yeah, so, I mean, what your body craves after 24 hours of
It's
riding
salty.
it's not normal,
No.
is it? You just want weird stuff. So hence why salt and vinegar crisps, which are not going to be winning the Tour de
No.
France anytime soon,
No.
and neither is a pork pie. I bet Jonas Vingegaard has never even looked
Watch
at a pork
this
pie.
space, Si. Watch this space. You can see SIS making pork pie looking energy bars soon.
Oh my god, can you imagine that?
Anyway.
Pork bar, tasty. Oh, that's rancid. Right, go on then. Next up, we got this one from GWE46. At what point does size glasses become classified as an aero fairing? Well, it's a good point actually, because
A really good point.
one of my favourite pairs of glasses.
A massive.
Well, those are my favourites, but I got another pair, also from POC, and they are their aero glasses, and they're designed to make my ears more aerodynamic, which is partly why they're so big. 'cause
Something
obviously-
you need.
Yeah, these bad boys.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're a fairing, are they? They're just glasses. But anyway, there we go. Right then, under cycling to the most remote pub, Frank Fazio. Now GMBN has to do the same route on modern bikes to show us choosing the right bike is important.
To be honest, I actually think mountain bike would also be quite difficult.
Well, yeah, so EMBN, the Electric Mountain Bike Network, did that precise route, and they nearly died, didn't they, of hypothermia, and they had to carry their bikes, but their bikes weighed 25 kilos
Yeah.
as opposed to 9. So, yeah,
And they-
arguably,
It's bloody tough. What
basically just bikes are
Yeah.
not suitable
No.
for riding to the most remote pub.
No.
Are they? Just walk instead.
Under that same video, Peter Harrington left us, yes, that's what I want to see, adventure out there on your doorstep. The very fact that this was a step beyond makes it all the more worthwhile. And though you say don't do this route, you've got to feel it would have been fine midsummer with an early start. Loving that you're giving Yoeleo a chance to shine too. They're clearly doing some great stuff. Yeah, and
stuff.
check out the competition too.
Basically, what Peter's saying is you didn't get out of bed early enough. Call yourself an adventurer. I bet Mark was dragging you out of bed. Hank, get up, Hank.
What he does to me, he goes, Hank, time to look keen. And it's a sentence that really just gets under my skin, because during the tandem challenge, we got 10 minutes off. And by the time the 10 minutes was up, he was like, Hank, look keen. And I was like, mate, I've just sat down. Give me a break. I've done 6 hours on a bike. Anyway.
Mark Beaumont does not do faffing.
No, he
In that 29-hour
doesn't.
record of the North Coast 500, what was it? He was off his bike for 16 minutes.
Yeah, it's mental. But the guy's made differently.
Time to look keen, Hank. Let's move on. Right then, under the my attempt at an ultra race. No, it's not really an
bloody
ultra
hard.
race. Yeah, Inferno. My goodness me.
It was an inferno.
It was hard enough for me. Anyway, Andrew McCallum said, what a week for GCN Epics. Ollie's Tour de Station, Mark and Hank's remote pub ride, and now Si's Inferno. Chapeau to the camera crews for capturing all of these. To be fair, yeah, gotta say,
They do.
They do an incredible job. Yeah. So chapeau to the
they make you
cameras.
look good, which is incredible.
Job enough of itself.
Incredibly.
And then Danielle James said, I can't believe Si was able to squeeze those glasses through those narrow roads. They weren't even the big ones.
Everyone loves your glasses, mate.
They're cool.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you so much for all your comments under the videos. Make sure you keep them coming. We love looking through them.
We do indeed, yeah. Right, we'll give you a quick preview of what's coming up on GCN over the next week. Weird facts about the Vuelta on Wednesday. And then Thursday, we have got a big day with some tech launches. So make sure you are glued to the channel on Thursday because it's a big day in the cycling world. That's what we're going to say.
Friday is wider, better. Alex and I take on some science, something I haven't done for a while.
It's what wider, better?
Tyres.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, thank you for that, mate. Just to clarify.
Yeah, and on Saturday, amateur on a superbike versus GCN on a Euro. But this is when I take on an amateur on a superbike. See how they get on against me on that heavy Euro bike. And on Sunday, it's the local legend in a day. So can you become a local legend in just 12 hours?
That's an interesting one, that one, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's Connor's thing.
Yeah. You're a legend.
Because I'm a legend already.
Anytime you step out the door, yeah. Boom. There we go. Should we leave it there, mate?
I think that's about time.
That's probably plenty, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. Just a quick reminder, of course, loads and loads of racing on GCN Plus. La Vuelta for one, and then the list I've got here is bonkers. Britannia Classic, GP Lorient Agglomeration.
Very nice.
Mountain Bike World Cup. There was one in Andorra at the weekend. There's another one this week. Ludonvier. Maryland Classic. Yeah, there's even a triathlon.
Yeah, the Super League. Oh, it's good. I'm not going to be watching it.
Crikey, there we go. All right. And then we also got a cracking film launching on GCN Plus this week, which is all about the rise in African cycling. It's all about breaking through. Biniam Girmay is on there, to name but a few. So yeah, there we go. A lot to watch, basically, as always.
Yeah, and thank you so much for watching this show. It's about time Sinai get out of here, isn't it?
It is indeed.
See you next time.